Hello everybody. Today we're going to be putting the second box back on the hive. I know seems like a step back what we did earlier this year, but it's going to be, they didn't have that many bees whenever I got them. They didn't have nowhere near enough bees to work a double deep like they do now. Plus, if I put the double deep on now, that's less comb that they have to build out in the spring. I can put it on now, and then in the spring, let these bees build out that comb on the empty frames here this year. And then next year, I can split the hive. I can take that second top off, the second deep off, and make a second colony out of it. All I'll need to buy is a queen at that point. It'll already have the bees in it, already have drone comb, and all I have to do is get a queen and add her to it, which they may even start to add their own queen. They may want to push this one out, and if they do in the spring, I can take this queen with me. I can take the queen out of here, add it to this box, and move her away, and put them into kind of like a false swarm, make them think they've swarmed. And then the new queen, when she hatches, then she'll just stay in here. She'll go off on her mating flight for about a week, 7 to 10 days or so, and then we'll have one hive here, and we'll put the other hive across the cutout, which is probably about 25-30 feet behind me there, and I'll have 2 hives going into spring. So that's the plan. I do not plan on leaving this as a double deep. We'll do it this year, let these bees draw out the comb, and I'll split the hive next year. I'll take half the bees and we'll move it over here, and we'll get a queen. We'll have 2 hives. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Putting this second deep on, and we're going to be adding some feed, because we are going to be feeding them like crazy, just so they can build all this comb out before winter sets in. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Let's get into it. All right, we're going to be trying a different camera angle today, so I don't have to walk back and forth in front of the hive. Let's break this open. We'll get in here. All right. All right, so let's get into this today. Last week, as many as you know, was not fun. Not fun at all. They have got so much propolis built up on this. It's really hard to get these first frames out here. This camera angle, it makes it easier for me to show you guys things. This frame has a lot of pollen. A lot of pollen and brood on it. You got a lot of brood on this side too. I'm hoping to find the queen in the first 3 or 4 frames today. She likes to hang out on this side of the hive. So the first couple of frames here, that's where we're going to be looking at her, looking for her at. I hope I'm even getting this in the shot. Some good frame building here. Just on the outside of the hive here. Let it like that, and let them keep doing their thing while we continue to move through. Lots of nectar going in on this. I haven't fed them in almost a week, and there's just so much nectar going in. There's a couple of devil's walking stick plants around here. For those that aren't familiar, it's got a thick trunk with lots of spines on it. Just look it up, devil's walking stick. It's actually really good for the bees. I don't know what kind of honey it makes, but it has a lot of nectar. And they're just behind the hive here, probably maybe 100 feet behind the hive through the trees. So, I mean, there's all kinds of bees on it. The queen is doing a good job laying. I want to show you this brood pattern to you guys. Let me get behind the camera here. So this brood pattern is all the way across, and every hole that's empty right now has got larvae or pollen in it. So she is doing a really good job laying, in my opinion. And that's what you want to see going into winter. You want to see her doing that going into winter, laying lots and lots of eggs. Because they know winter's coming. They're preparing. But sometimes they just need a little help. That's why I've been feeding them, just to give them a little push in the right direction. All right. This is frame number 3. This has a lot of nectar on it. Nectar and pollen going in. This frame here, the back side, larva on the bottom here. Larva in those cells. I hope you guys can see that. Larva and some eggs, some fresh ones. Lots of larvae going across. And then we have your brood, your capped brood in the middle. You have some honey going in on the edges. Some capped honey. So far I'm liking what I see. Lots of brood still being laid, and lots of nectar still here, and pollen. It's everything they need. Everything they need to survive is right here. I shouldn't have to feed them any pollen patties or anything like that right now. Let's see if I can lean you guys over in here. I mean, there's so many bees in this hive. That's one reason we're adding the second box today. As many bees can fill that second deep before the end of the year. That's less work any bees have to do in the spring, and they can focus on honey production. I don't plan to get a whole lot. I really want to do this for the hobby of it. I mean, I enjoy coming out here to do this. And what's that saying? They say if you don't enjoy doing it, why do it? But I really enjoyed this. I might not be good at it, but I enjoy it. We'll really be able to tell if I'm good at it if these guys make it through the winter. Hopefully they will. At this rate, I think they will. I don't have a lazy queen. She's laying good. So if somebody can explain to me what's going on here, it's capped brood, but the caps are missing. You can see the bees in the cells. Right there. If anybody know what that is, let me know. You can see the bees' heads in there, and you're not supposed to be able to do that. So if somebody could tell me what's going on there so I can fix it, that would be helpful. Lots of larvae and capped brood on this frame too. I'm going to skip a few frames. I'm not going to show you guys everything, but you get the idea. Larva, cap frame, honey on every frame. This one looks good. Still don't see the queen. I don't have to find her, but since I didn't physically see her last week, I seen her on the play. One of you guys actually pointed out she was in the video. I didn't even see her. So I would like to see her with my own eyeballs in the flesh today. There's the queen right there. We found her. We are 7 frames in, and we finally found her. Oh, there she goes. There we go. She laid that egg. Now a bee should go in after her and take care of the egg. There she's laying another one. And that's what she does all day long. The bees that surround her will take care of her. They'll feed her, clean her off if she needs cleaning. They'll just follow her around, and she That's what she does right there all day. Just searches for holes to lay eggs in and lays an egg. Yep, there she goes again. She can lay anywhere between 1,500 and 2,000 eggs per day. So last week when I did the Varroa test, and you know, you think, oh, you're killing 300 bees. Yeah, but 1,500 to 2,000 bees die every day anyway. So what's 300 more? She's just laying a bunch of eggs for you guys today. There's laying another egg. She's taking her time with that one. Oh, a bee got in her way. One of the workers got in her way. She couldn't move for a second. Okay, well, I'm gonna get these guys put back together. We found the queen. She laid for you guys quite a bit. She probably laid 5 to 10 eggs for you guys. That's the first time we've caught that on camera. So that's impressive. I'm actually glad we got that. So there she is back there. Make sure she stays on the frame. She's still laying eggs, going just as hard as she can. What I'm really looking for is making sure there's no queen cells, making sure they're not gonna try to push her out. See, there's that stuff again where you can see the bees' heads in there. Again, if somebody could tell me what that is and how to fix that. I don't know if it's some kind of disease they have or what. I hope it's not a disease. It's kind of late in the year for them to be able to recover from that if it hits them bad. But I definitely need that fixed before winter. So if anybody has any tips, I'll do my own research. But if anybody genuinely knows right off the top of their head and can let me know what it is and how to fix it, please do. I'm actually going to show you guys quite a bit in this video. Here, if I can find it again, and right here in the middle, you'll see right there, the cap of the cell is moving. That is a bee coming out for the first time. You might see her hatch here in just a second. I've never seen this in person myself, so she's eating away that cap right now so she can get out. She might not eat all of it. Some of them eat a perfect circle. Others just eat enough to get out. This is a different one, but she's eaten enough away to stick her head out. They're flying around my hand, so if you see me jerk, that's what it is. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. We have just watched a new bee come into the world. Not quite out. There she is, taking her first steps as a bee. See, her wings are still folded down behind her abdomen. And they'll take some time to get stiff where she can fly. So they'll take some time there. There's a bee crawling on my hand. Please don't sting me. Alright. So we've seen a lot of stuff today, everybody. We've seen the queen lay eggs. We've seen one hatch. So I think this has been a very productive video, at least as far as seeing new things for the first time. So what I need to do now is smoke them enough to get off the edges where I'm going to be setting this new box. I really don't want to squish any. Now it looks like I'm smoking them a lot, and I kind of am because I want them to go deep in the frames. So when I set this up there, they're not in the way. If you get one or two, that's okay, but I didn't want to squash 1,000 that was up here just a minute ago. So what we're doing, we're giving the bees a lot more room. We're giving them a lot more room to be able to build when we do this. That's a familiar sight. 2 deeps. That's how we had it set up first in the beginning of when I got them back in May. There just wasn't enough bees in to fill it out. So now there's plenty of bees to fill that out and make a second hive for next year. Because that's what I'll be taking the second deep and splitting the hive in the spring. So we got that good. We got to see the queen lay in today, so that's good. And we got to see baby bee hatching for the first time. So we got to see those 2 things. I'm gonna try to put that in the video if I have time. I don't want this to be another 30-minute video. People don't like to sit there and watch a boring person for that long. So we're gonna try to do that. And next week we'll check and see if they're building any of this comb out. Hopefully they are. And we'll check that next time. Sorry, my smoker's in the background. Flame shooting out of it. I do want to thank the other 2 subscribers. Got us over 25, so we have 26 subscribers now, quarter of the way to 100. Might have to do something special for 100. I don't know what I'll do. Maybe give away something. I don't know. We'll do something cool for 100 if we ever get there. But thank you guys again. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you next week. Check out this double deep.